Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Lala and I am documenting my repatriation journey. I'm currently in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and I love it here. I've been posting on Pan-African websites, like Pan-African Facebook groups, you know, just promoting my content, and it seems I always run into misinformation, and they always seem to respond to me with this misinformation and just plain ignorance. And there is this guy that responded to my post, and he was just completely ignorant. And I think for us to come together as one, for us to unite, we have to call each other out, hold each other accountable, educate one another based on our personal experiences. So the purpose of this post is not to expose this guy, but to educate those who may think like him. Because I've been in 2 African countries, I plan to tour more countries, and my experience differs from a lot of the experiences that I've heard. And I don't know if it has something to do with mindset, but I think that has a lot to do with it. And you know, lack of exposure, just lack of information. And the only way you can get information nowadays is to travel and get to know Africa for yourself than to just judge a whole group and just generalize. It's just not right. So I'm gonna read the comment. I'm gonna put it up here so you guys can read along with me. But yeah, I just want to give you guys my personal opinion on the things that he said on his post. So let's read it. Alright, so he says, "Sister, you ain't learned yet. You about to learn. I've been moved to Africa." Motorcycles passing by. "I've been moved to Africa. Used to be Pan-African, but I'm not no more. We aren't African, and they don't see us as African culture-wise. We are nothing alike, and they call us white and steal from us and don't respect us and overcharge us for everything. You gonna learn. Hope you don't learn the hard way. And you a single mom, you gotta be safe moving to Africa with no male protection. You about to get thrown to the wolves, for real." Did y'all hear that last part? Anyways, so let's dissect this message real quick. Alright, firstly, he said he moved to Africa. I think he mentioned later on that he was in Liberia and he has Liberian citizenship, and his experiences weren't, these were his experiences in Liberia. Alright, so let's get into it. You used to be Pan-African. I think it's so many people that just use that word lightly. You can't give yourself a self-proclaimed title. Firstly, if you're Pan-African, you already know that there's problems that we have to fix in-house, and that's not going to be easy. You can't call yourself Pan-African and not be aware of the issues and how the issues are caused. You know, how they've separated us. It was all strategic. Separating us, calling us, you know, different terms. At the end of the day, we're all black, you know. But if you're a Pan-African, you already know that there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of accountability that needs to be held on a part of the leaders and the community. You know that there's going to be issues that separate us. And who is the one who separated us all this time? Alright, now let's be serious here. Who has separated us? We all heard of Jim Crow. We all heard of colonization. And we all know the effects of that. So if you're truly Pan-African, these are things you already know before going to Africa. You're not going to romanticize Africa and just see Africa as some dreamland and people are just going to accept you. You can go from New York to Atlanta and people won't embrace you because they're not familiar with you. They've been misinformed just like we've been misinformed. You get what I'm saying? So if you're Pan-African, you already know this. I call myself Pan-African because I've been exposed to different cultures. I'm from Jamaica, moved to America and lived my whole life there, and now I'm trying to integrate myself into the African culture. But going from culture to culture, I'm already aware that there's misinformation. You know, I already know that people are going to believe what they mostly seen on TV and media, you know, and what they've been exposed to. I already know this. So yeah, you can't just people can't call themselves Pan-African and you're not aware of these issues and how those issues were caused. So let's just start there. So then the next thing he said, I'm not no more, we aren't African. They don't see us as African culture-wise. We are nothing alike. Once again, them separating us has been very strategic, you know, and no one sees themselves as the same. You have white cultures that are separated based on, you know, where you're from and things like that, but they still can unite. People are never going to see themselves as the same, but the whole goal is to unite. And the reason they don't see us as the same is because what they've been fed from media, and we're not the same. I don't think any, you know, like different cultures, different people from different countries, different people from different states even are never going to be the same. But who cares if they don't see us as the same? Who taught them that we weren't the same? We are alike in many ways where we can unite. We're all black. You know, so who cares? If you're truly Pan-African, who cares if they see us as the same? I'm not here to convince these people that I'm the same. I'm here to change the narrative and show people the strengths in us uniting and holding people like this and things that are flaws in our culture accountable. So who cares, you know? And they call us white and steal from us. I grew up in America. We do have some white ways. Like the things that they taught us, we do act like that. And then they see like they see what they portray us as on TV. And you know, we dress like the Europeans, you know. We sometimes act like them. We always will be black culturally, you know, but we do have some ways like that. And it's like I said, we've all been miseducated. Every single person from the diaspora has been miseducated on one another. All I can do is show up as myself, you know, to integrate myself in a culture and change the narrative in their eyes. I'm not gonna sit here and complain. Like, we all know we don't see each other as the same. We do not see each other as the same. When I came from Jamaica to America, they didn't see me as the same. When you move from Atlanta to New York, they don't see you as the same. We all separated, you know, by labels and groups. But we all are the same, you know? But, yeah, it's like, and then he said, they steal from us. They steal from us. Okay. Let's talk about that right here. Everyone steals from everyone. Not everyone. There's always going to be a thief and a good person. A thief and a good person wherever you go in the world. And I once thought, you know, that they steal from us because of what media portrayed and what people told me before visiting Ghana. They told me like, oh, they're going to steal from you and this and that, where I was so paranoid my first time, subconsciously, you know, that people were going to steal from me. But since being here in Tanzania, I have dropped money on the floor. They picked it up. A man yelled from across the street like, hey, you dropped your money, he has it. And the guy that picked it up came and gave it to me. Like, there's places where that's never happened to me. I've left my car behind in in Atlanta, I left my car engine running because I parked right in front of the store where there's cameras, and I thought I was secure because I was going in and out. They took my car with everything in it, laptop, phone. Like, people steal from each other anywhere. Like, yo, we have to open our minds. You can't be so small-minded to think, oh, because one person stole from you or one person had a negative experience, that I'm just going to generalize all Africans, that all Africans are going to steal from us. No, I've left my phone behind in a grocery store, and the associate ran behind me to go give me my phone. I'm not going to say that's going to happen all the time, but it happened. So that changed my whole thought of what people told me when I visited Ghana, that they steal, they're petty thieves. Yeah, it's thieves everywhere. People will steal from you everywhere. Stop generalizing based on one experience. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Then he says, they don't respect us and they overcharge us. Okay, I'm not even gonna get into the respect thing because that's so generalized. Like, you can tell when somebody's small-minded because they generalize a lot, Then he says they overcharge us. Firstly, I thought that was a thing coming here to Africa, that they just overcharge Americans and they would just single us out. No, once you get to know other Africans, see, that's why you can't come to Africa, go to one country and think you know the entire Africa and just generalize. And you can't just, have a few experiences and think that you just know the whole country. Because I spoke to other Africans from Zimbabwe and they told me they were overcharged as well, just because they know they're from another area. They do not speak the language. So that's just human nature to overcharge someone if you're in the business of sales and you notice that that person is not from there. Why? Because they don't know the prices. So yeah, you're gonna overcharge. Like, when I moved to New York, I was overcharged on a lot of things that didn't have price tags. You have to know how to bargain. You gotta be intelligent enough to get to learn the prices and learn how to bargain, so you don't have to ask the price. You know what I mean? Or sometimes what I do, I just give them money, what I believe it is, take an educated guess based on the other things I've been charged for. Like water is $500, but some places will charge you $2,000. So I'll just give you $1,000 and see what type of change you give me. And I greet you with Swahili greetings to make you think that I'm Swahili, and then I don't say a word. You gotta learn how to integrate. You can't just go there, be in your box, speak your language, and think that people are just going to be kind to you and things are just going to be fair. Life is not fair. If you're dealing with a salesman and they realize you're not from there, you're going to get overcharged. So, all generalizations, really. Let's finish this. So then he said, everything you gonna learn, hope you don't learn the hard way. And you a single mom. You gotta be safe moving to Africa with no male protection. You about to get thrown to the wolves for real. On that last statement, to finish this up, my daughter has never had interaction with her father. I'm putting y'all in my business because I can tell my story. People can't tell my story for me, So she's not familiar with male energy because I've only had her around my female clients. But now that she's in Africa, I've been around many guys. They embrace her. They're not scared of kids. They pick her up. They play with her. It's been times where she's almost fallen and they protected her from falling. Like, every guy she's met has treated her in a fatherly way. The community is here for one another. So, on to the wolves? Nah, like, this isn't even the type of community for that. Like, they embrace kids here. Women, men, the whole community embraces kids. They love children. I haven't had anybody treat her badly. They've all treated her gently and been, attentive with her. So, once again, generalizations, but yeah, just to conclude, like, generalizations only come from small-minded people. you know, and the only way you can expand your mindset is to travel somewhere, spend time there, go to different countries. What I would suggest is doing a DNA test, seeing where your bloodline leads you, and then trying to, you know, integrate yourself into those countries and those societies. Because my DNA is 50% Nigerian and it's 24% Bantu, so the 24% is here in Tanzania, and I get along well with most people, just like I get along with Nigerians really well. So it's good to know who you are and educate yourself by experiencing the culture and not just taking one experience and just running with it. But I didn't want to expose this guy. I just want to educate those who may think like this, because it's not right, and you'll be limiting yourself if you continue to think like this. So I hope I was able to, you know, expand people's mind or entertain you guys. I'm trying something different. I guess I'll call this my story time, but my daughter should be waking up soon, so I'm about to go. All right, you guys, one love. Bye.